Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ayoola, and if you're seeing my video for the very first time, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know you're an answer to prayers. Thank you for always coming back. A Nigerian YouTuber based in Texas, and today's video is a very interesting one. I'll be retracting my point of entry story and also giving you tips on what to do in your point of entry. So if this is something you're interested in, let's just go right into the video. Yes, guys. So congratulations to all my F1 and my B1, B2, F1, F2 visa holders. Congratulations, congratulations. You've done a great job. And this is just like the icing on the cake. So first off, let me define this. Point of entry officially means the state you touch down in the US. So when your plane is coming, the very first place that your plane touched down in, that is your point of entry officially. Like it doesn't matter if the place is your school, it doesn't matter if the place is the exact place you are going to, but wherever it is your flight takes you to is your point of entry, so long as it's welcome to America. But this, let's backtrack a bit from booking your ticket. So it is very important that you book your ticket, especially if you are an F1 student that don't know like anybody where you're going to. You're solely just coming straight from your house in Lagos, Nigeria, or in Abuja, or in Port Harcourt, in Ghana, because I know I have viewers from Ghana, yeah. In Ghana or any other African country, you're coming straight to the US. You don't have anybody that you're coming to meet. You're going straight to your school. It's very important that when you are booking your ticket, you put these things into consideration. And these things are, where is my flight going to take me to? If you are schooling in North Carolina, I honestly don't think you should be booking a ticket that is going to Dallas, because that's like two different parts, like very different parts. If you are schooling in Oklahoma, well, it will make sense if you are booking a ticket in Dallas. But I'm just trying to clear the doubts because I've had a couple of questions that says, "Oh, is it a problem if my point of entry is not exactly where my school is?" Here is the answer: no, it is not a problem if your point of entry is different from your location, because there are a lot of flights that don't go straight to certain locations. For me, in my case, when I was coming, I was supposed to go straight to Oklahoma, but I couldn't find any flight from Abuja to Oklahoma straight. The closest flight, and I was also told by my school that you don't get a flight from Nigeria to Oklahoma. There is no flight like that. So the only flight you can get is one around every state that bounds Oklahoma. You probably will be able to get a flight going straight to Oklahoma from that place. So officially, you would think my first point of entry should be where I'm going to, which is Oklahoma, right? No. To bust your bubble, my first point of entry was the place where I touched down into the US, which was Dallas. So this is the place where you answer immigration questions. And I know a lot of people have been scared and skeptical about, hey, point of entry question, hey, what will happen in point of entry, this one, that one. I know. See, God's grace is very important. So if you're on this journey, I'm sure you're very prayerful. And I'm sure that, well, if you are not, it's about time you consider God. Because point of entry is tricky. I've heard a lot of people have funny stories in point of entry. So people get turned back. That is the place that determines if you get into the US. Now, your passport, your visa, your admission is not enough to get you into the US. Point of entry, it is that place that determines, are you entering or are you going back? That's how important point of entry is. But at the same time, it is not that deep. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. You go deep, Tonya. It is not that deep. Let me explain. So first things first, I booked my flight, and fortunately or unfortunately, I couldn't get any flights that was very cheap. Hence, when I was doing my calculation, if you've not seen that video, I broke down my expenses coming from Nigeria to the US. If you've not seen that video, you should go check it out. So I mentioned that my flights cost about 1 million naira, and somebody in the comments told me, "Ah, you have money, you are rich, oh." I'm not broke. I'm a child of God. Poverty is not my thing. But at the same time, I don't have millions flying around. I do not have it. But that at that time, that was the cheapest flight I could get. So this is to tell you that it wasn't convenient. It was Turkish airline, and I had to first stop at Qatar before I was able to get my connecting flight from Qatar to the United States. So you can't get like a straight flight. You have to touch down somewhere first. Then from there, you will now get another flight that will take you to your where you are going to. So these are my tips in this video. First things first, make sure that when you are booking your flight, in as much as you're considering money and you are thinking that you don't want to spend too much, it is very important that you consider the layover time. For me, the layover from Qatar to Dallas was about 3, 4 hours, which was still very fair enough. Time flies very fast when you are in an airport and you're seeing a lot of people just roaming around. But imagine an international student flying, or somebody with family, or you are just coming for your B1, B2, which is also important here, because if you are a B1, B2 holder, you should also know that you have a place called point of entry. So if you are doing that and you have a layover of 24 hours, a layover of 9 hours, that can be ridiculously draining, especially the fact that getting food in the airport is expensive. It is very annoying because you might not even be able to eat what they have to offer. By remembrance, you already know that this is a new country, a totally new country where you probably don't know their culture. So if you take Air France, you probably have to stop over in Paris. If you take Air Egypt, you probably have to stop over in Egypt. If you take Air Ethiopia, you probably have to stop over. You most definitely have to stop over in Ethiopia before you have a connecting flight. Except you are paying like one big money that you have find a flight straight from Lagos to Abuja straight to the United States. It usually doesn't happen like that. There's always this connecting flight in between. So, as a student, I would advise that you try to find a flight with a lesser layover. So, I'm talking 3 hours, I'm talking 4 hours, I'm talking 5 hours, even 6 hours at most. But any layover that is more than that, it can just drain your energy. Next thing is you get your next connecting flight, which is pretty easy. Just go to your gate, like you ask questions. I, for one, asked a lot of questions at the airport. I wasn't shy about it because I know this is my first time, especially for my first time flyers. You probably don't know what to do, how to do your work, and all that. Ask questions knowledgeably. Just ask, where's the gate? Please, I don't know. This is my ticket. I don't know where I'm going to. They would, you see those people dressed in uniform, the hostesses, they are always ready to help you. So just ask questions. So I asked questions, they took me to my gate, and that was it. I was able to fly from there to Dallas. So immediately I got to Dallas, that's my first point of entry. And these are the things to note. You have to carry your documents in your carry-on bag. Do not leave your documents in your travel bag, like in your box, in your sack. Never do that. Your passport, your I-20, your admission letter should be in your carry-on bag, because you would not see your box until the last place. Like, you will not see your box until you're about to leave that airport. Like, you pick your box up and that's when you are going out already. So at the point of entry, you don't see your box. All you see is an immigration officer and a long queue. So this is how the queue goes. There's a queue for American citizens or people returning to America that are past green card holders or citizens. Then there's a separate line for international people. So these are people from any other place besides the United States. So that's the line I fall into. There's no special line for students or special line for visiting. That's not your business. And there's a long cube like box of immigration officers lining up to receive people. So you can hear, you are pretty close to the next person, so you can hear what the next person is saying. So this is how mine went. I held in my hand my passport, my admission letter, and my I-20. And immediately it got to my turn, all I needed to do was good day, good day. If you don't want to exchange pleasantry, it's fine. It's not an it's not that kind of interview where respect is the order of the day, really. But if your courtesy serves you right, then you do it. So I said, okay, welcome. Where are you going to? It was more, see, it's a simpler question than when you went to do your visa interview. It's really a simpler question. So once you have let God go before you, the next thing he asked me was, where are you going to? I said, I'm going to the University of I'm going to Oklahoma for school. It was like, oh, you're a student. What country are you from? I said, I'm from Nigeria. So, okay, can I see your passport? I said, sure. I passed over my passport. Can I see your I-20? I said, sure. I passed over my I-20. He looked at it, he looked through it, he said, oh, you're going for this course? I said, yes, I'm going for this course. I was like, that sounds interesting. I usually see engineers and science people, or I don't know how you put it though. Like I usually see a certain kind of people come through the airport daily. This is different. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Like, okay, welcome to the United States. And he took his stamp and he stamped my passport and he said, you can go. And that's how I left. And the next place I went to, I still asked questions. I'm like, I've not gotten my box yet. I don't know how to get it. I asked one of the officials, not at the immigration desk, to outside. I was like, oh no, you get your box from here. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to do any other thing. Is that the point of entry? And she was like, oh yes, that's all. I'm like, I've watched videos on YouTube that says different. And I'm surprised this is different. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to Oklahoma. How do I? So, did you book a flight? I said, no, I didn't book a flight. Am I supposed to do any other thing, checking another place? I'm like, no, 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 no. This is all. If you have someone coming to pick you up, you could call them to pick you up. Then you book your flight to Oklahoma if you want to take a flight. But Oklahoma is a few hours away if you want to go by road. And I'm like, oh, so when I get to Oklahoma, I don't need to do anything. I'm like, no, you're done. That's all. I'm like, oh, thank you. So this is just to tell you how a typical point of entry conversation goes. I've seen in that same queue that I was where somebody was taken in for further questioning. I honestly don't know what he answered wrong and what he answered right. But if there's something suspicious about you, then you most likely would have to maybe go for second questioning, or if the officer is not getting clarity from what you are saying, that's the instance. But on a general note, point of entry is simply a part where you answer the same questions that you have. These are the issues that would disorient you at the point of entry when you don't have your documents in your carry on. When you are fidgeting, you are so scared, honestly, just pray about it. There's nothing to be scared of, so to say. Your point of entry should not really be scary. Then the most asked questions, like I said earlier, is does my point of entry have to be the same as the place I'm going to? The answer is no. Your point of entry is anywhere in the United States. And you need to be prepared for that. That when you are dropping from your plane, don't expect that until you get to, if you're going to school in Atlanta, don't think that until if you're on your flight for whatever reason brought you to Dallas, don't think until you get to Atlanta before you answer the questions. You answer the questions in Dallas. Any flight from when you enter the United States to another state in the United States is a local flight. It is no longer an international flight. But from Nigeria to the United States is an international flight. So don't think that I have to get to Atlanta before they ask me any questions. So when I get to Atlanta, I'll pick up my I-20 from my box, I'll do this. No, you have to have those things handy. Then you need to take a deep breath. Even if all hell is breaking loose on your right and your left, just know within you that it's not going to break loose on my head, and be confident enough to answer the questions with a smile on your face, honestly. No be fight. You are just doing a normal procedure check. So that's all for point of entry. I hope you have a safe flight. Don't forget, in as much as you are looking for a cheap flight, please keep in mind delay over time. It is very important because you don't want to be stranded in no man's country. You know that. You get what I mean. And again, aside the flight time, also keep in mind that anywhere you touch down in the United States, anywhere at all, not necessarily where you are going to straight, is your point of entry. I hope you have fun at your point of entry, honestly. I hope you have questions that are calm. I hope you meet the favor of the Lord, and I wish you all the best. I wish you a safe flight down here. This video helpful. Please don't forget to share. Share with somebody, share with an F1 student, share with a B1, B2 visa holder. Let them know that this is an information that you would love them to hear. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my content. And if you need any help whatsoever, My Instagram handle is down here. Please don't forget, it's in the description box. Just reach out to me on Instagram and I will be more than willing, so long as it's within my power, to help you out. Thank you very much for watching this video and I'll see you. And congratulations on your admission once again. Congratulations on your tourist visa too, if you are a B1, B2 visa holder watching this. And I wish you a successful academic year as you begin your new journey to a new part in your life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned one or two things, and I'll definitely see you all in my next video. I love you. Bye.